Making the Polar Express was pure madness. Therefore, I'm about to reveal everything that went wrong, everything that went right, and how this movie went from a quiet children's book to a technological experiment that terrified animators, thrilled audiences, and confused critics all at once. Cue the intro montage. Who's there? And then, the real train appears, the one that would carry a boy to the North Pole through snow, fog, and a production process so complicated that nobody was entirely sure it would ever reach the screen. Before it became a holiday classic, the Polar Express existed only as a whisper on a page. A boy, a train, a bell, and a question nobody had the courage to answer yet. In 1985, author and illustrator Chris Van Allsburg released The Polar Express, in a short picture book that didn't look like it was trying to become anything more. There were no flashy twists, no loud characters, and no big speeches about believing. At first glance, it was almost too quiet. The story followed a young boy who wasn't brave or confident, just curious and unsure. He wasn't asking whether Santa Claus was real because he wanted an answer, but because he felt belief slowly slipping away. The book never rushed that feeling or treated it like a flaw. It treated doubt as something normal, something most people experience growing up. The characters around him reflected that same tone. The conductor wasn't friendly or comforting, he was calm, serious, and slightly distant, like someone guiding you through a place you weren't meant to fully understand. Santa himself wasn't exaggerated or loud either. He appeared confident and quiet, as if magic didn't need to explain itself. What truly set the book apart was its restraint. Long moments passed with almost no dialogue. Snow-filled streets, glowing windows, and the steady rhythm of the train did most of the storytelling. The book trusted readers to sit with the silence and decide for themselves what they believed, and that trust was exactly what made the book powerful and dangerous to adapt. Because once you stretch something so subtle into a full-length movie, every added scene risks saying too much. Turning the Polar Express into a film wasn't about adding excitement, it was about not breaking the spell that was already there. Everything changed in the late 1990s when Tom Hanks read the book to his own children. He saw its magic but also recognized the danger. Stretching 20 pages into a feature film without ruining the subtlety felt impossible. But Hanks didn't shy away from risk. Instead, he brought the project to Robert Zemeckis, a director known for pushing technical boundaries to the edge. Chris Van Allsburg agreed to the adaptation, but only under strict rules: no traditional animation, no live-action filming. Ironically, this restriction forced the project to embrace technology that barely existed, setting the stage for both wonder and chaos. And it introduced a question that would hang over the entire production. Could this new motion capture technology capture real emotion, or would it only expose what humans can't recreate digitally? The solution was ambitious. Performance capture. Actors would wear full-body sensor suits while cameras recorded their every move. Tom Hanks himself performed 6 characters, including the conductor, the hero boy's father, and even Santa Claus. This wasn't about novelty, it was about creating a single emotional anchor across the entire story. But there was a catch. The technology for facial capture was limited. Eyes didn't always track naturally, smiles often looked mechanical, and subtle expressions vanished in translation. Animators faced a choice: redo everything or trust that the audience would feel the story even if the faces weren't perfect. They chose the latter, but tension never left the studio. Every motion, every blink, every gesture was scrutinized endlessly because the entire film depended on it. By 2003, the scale of the production became staggering. Every snowflake, reflection, and particle of fog had to be simulated digitally. The train itself became more than a vehicle, it was a living part of the story. Animators studied real locomotives for realism but exaggerated weight and motion just enough to make it feel magical rather than mechanical. Test audiences revealed an unexpected truth. People responded most to quiet, reflective moments rather than fast-paced action. Therefore, the filmmakers leaned into restraint, trusting viewers to notice the little details. The subtle glimmer of the bell, the quiet awe of a snow-filled night. What started as a limitation became a defining feature, giving the movie a unique, dreamlike atmosphere. When The Polar Express premiered in 2004, nobody knew what to expect. Critics debated the uncanny realism of the characters, while audiences were split between awe and unease. Some loved the dreamlike quality, while others were distracted by the faces, Parents worried if their children would enjoy the movie, while kids mostly got lost in the wonder of the train, the snow, and the North Pole. Box office numbers didn't explode immediately, but the movie endured. Slowly, quietly, it became a holiday tradition. People returned to it year after year, not because it was perfect, but because it captured something personal: belief, curiosity, and the joy of a quiet, magical moment. The Polar Express exists because it trusted its audience, it trusted silence, subtle emotion, and the power of small details. It asked questions without giving easy answers, and it dared to embrace technology that few believed could carry human feeling. The uncanny faces, the snow-filled nights, the glimmer of the bell, they all work because the story doesn't tell you what to feel. It asks you to believe, even when you don't see proof. And perhaps that is the greatest irony of all. A movie built on cutting-edge technology and massive risk became a story about something older, quieter, and far more human. The Polar Express reminds us that belief doesn't need perfection. It only needs you to pay attention and listen closely. And maybe, just maybe, if you do, you'll hear the bell ring. And, Merry Christmas.